Hello friends, welcome back. In previous video we have seen what is double posting problem and what is the solution for the double posting problem. So once the form is submitted, if the end user clicks on the F5, form is going to resubmit it, which is going to create side effects here. So to resolve that problem, we have post redirect get pattern, right? Now let us try to understand how to implement this PRG pattern to resolve that double posting problem in Spring MVC application. Alright, let's get started. Here, I am going to create one simple Spring Boot web application, new Spring Starter project. Here, project packaging type is WAR, build tool is Maven, Java version 8 we are using, name of the project I am using as Spring Boot double post PRG app. Click on next. Selecting the boot version as 2.1.4 and we need several dependencies here. First one is web dependency. Then I am using Lombok dependency. Fine. Lombok and web dependencies we are using. Click on next. Click on finish. Now boot project is getting created. So I selected two dependencies. One is boot starter web and Lombok. Along with that, to compile the JSP pages, we need to add Tomcat embed Jasper. Now go to pom.xml. Along with these dependencies, let me add one more dependency, which is Tomcat embed Jasper, which is used to compile our JSP files. Adding Tomcat embed Jasper. Now let us try to create the classes. Here base package is created. Now I am creating one model class and controller class for handling form submission. New package com dot example dot demo dot model. So here, because com.example.demo is a base package, all the package names should start with the base package name. And let us create one more package for controller, com.example.demo.controller. Now first let me create a model class, new class with a name called user. This class we are using as a form binding class. Spring MVC can bind the form data to model classes, right? Private string uname, private string email, private long phone number. So these are the three fields that I am taking here. Instead of writing the setters and getters, let me use a Lombok @data annotation, which is going to generate setters, getters, toString method, equals method and hash code method for our model class. If you don't know Lombok, please check in our Ashok IT School playlist. I prepared a video for the Lombok. Alright, so with this my model class is ready. Now let me create a controller class, new class. Here I am creating a class with a name called user controller. To make a class as a controller in the Spring MVC, we have a annotation called @controller, right? Now my class is a controller. First let me write one method, public string load user form. I am writing one method which is responsible to load the user form. Let me bind this method to URL pattern request mapping value. Here one method can be mapped with multiple URL patterns. Here I am mapping with two URL patterns. One is slash, another one is create user account, and giving method is equal to request method dot get. That means I am binding my method to HTTP request get method. Right. Now, so finally this method should return logical view name. Let me create a view name as a create user account. This is logical file name, returning logical view name. Now for this form we need to send the binding object, right? So let me take a modal scope to send the data from controller to presentation modal modal. Now, so how to add the data to a modal scope? Using add attribute method. Modal dot add attribute key comma value. So here I am taking user modal, value is a user modal object. So new user. Alright. So with this we created a method which is used to load the form. Let me add a comment for this. This method is used to load user account creation form. Right. So this method is going to return string, that is a logical view name. Now, so now we need to have a JSP with this logical file name, right? So let us see here. I am going to create JSP file under web app, new folder as views. So I'm creating a file with a name called create user account, that is a JSP file. Other JSP, select the JSP file, next file name create user account dot JSP. Right. Now here we need to add a form. So the form that we are going to develop based on Spring Form Tag library. So let us include Spring Form Tag library here. Control space tag lib form prefix also form. Now we can develop our form using Spring Form Tag library. Right now. So let me take the form. So I hope already you know how to develop a form by using form tag library, right? So there will be modal attribute and path attributes to bind form data to modal object variables. So form action is create user, modal attribute is user, which we are sending from our controller. This is user modal. Let me take this. Now modal attribute I am passing as user modal. Method is equal to post. Username, path is uname, email, path is email, in phone number, path is phone number. Whatever the path attributes we are giving, these attributes should match with our modal class variables. Then only form data can be binded to this modal object. Right. Now let us do some properties file configuration with the view resolver. Application and properties. Now I am changing port number. Server.port is equal to sum 6061. Prefix and suffix. Spring dot mvc dot view dot prefix is equal to slash views. Spring dot mvc dot view dot suffix is equal to dot JSP. Right. If we want, we can give context path also. Spring dot servlet dot context path. Sorry, servlet dot context path. Server.servlet.context path is equal to slash my app. Right. You can give any name for the context path that should start with the slash. Right. Now let us try to run this application, run as Spring Boot app. Application is started with port number 6061. Context path is a my app. Let us try to access this. Localhost colon 6061 slash my app. Right. So with this port number, now we are able to get the user registration form. Now once this form is submitted, it is going to submit the request to this create user method with a post request. So to handle this form submission, we should have another method in the controller. Let me write one more method. Public string create user account, right? Bind this method to post request method. At the request mapping value is equal to slash create user. Method is equal to request method dot post, right? Now how to receive this form data? By using modal attribute. By using modal attribute annotation, modal attribute of we are storing as a user model, store it into user object of user. Now after this we need to return same uname create user account. This is my view name, create user account. Whether form data is coming or not, let me log it by using a logger. Let me add a logger here. SL4J logger is equal to logger factory dot get logger of user controller dot class. You can make it private static final logger, right? Logger dot info user form submitted. Let me print that user object. So if the form is submitted, I am printing that. Now if the form is submitted, I want to write some business logic here. Logic to insert record to database. Now I am not writing that logic, just I am seeing that whether form is getting submitted or not, right? After form is submitted, I want to display a success message. So I need to send the data from my controller layer to presentation layer. For that we are going to use modal object. So how to store the data to modal? By using modal dot add attribute message account created successfully. Account created successfully. So this is the method that I am writing. So what is the purpose of this method? This method is used to handle user account creation form submission, right? This method we are writing which is used to handle user account creation form submission. Once the form is submitted, just I am logging the object here. You can write the logic here to store the data into the database. Then finally I am sending a success message to the user and I am returning a same view name. So how to access this message in the view now? Using expression language. So just let me access that message by using dollar of message. So account is created or not, it is going to display. Let me print that message in the green color. Font color is equal to green. All right, now let's restart our server. To reload the resources, we can add a DevTools dependency here, but I forgot to add that. No problem, I am rerunning my project. Run as Spring Boot app. Right. First, load this form. Form is loaded successfully. Let's clear the console. Now, submit this form. Right. Now, enter some phone number. Now I am clicking on submit. As you can see that account created successfully. So request is submitted to the server with a HTTP post request. Now you can see that our logger is printed. User form submitted with the given details. I am writing the log level by using info. By default in the Spring Boot, info level will be enabled. So that's why my log message is printing on the console using console appender. Now let me try to reload this form by using F5. Now when I reload, It is asking confirm resubmission. I clicked on continue. Then one more time the form got submitted. This is called duplicate form submission. How can you confirm the form is resubmitted? Let us check our logger. Second time also logger is printed. That means form is submitted twice. Now if I press F5 again, continue, third logger is printed. So with the same details, form is submitted 3 times by using this refresh option. With the help of this refresh option, I am able to resubmit the form. So this is called double posting problem or form duplicate submission. Then we need to resolve this problem by using post, redirect and get pattern. That is the main agenda of this video. Alright. See here, currently how it is executing. Here I am filling the form, clicking on the submit, post request is going to the server, then success message is coming, user is refreshing, then again post request is resubmitting. So this is called double posting scenario. Then how I need to resolve this problem? By using PRG. PRG stands for post, redirect, get pattern. How I need to solve that? How I need to implement that PRG pattern in my project? Once the user is submitting the form, post request will go to the server. Don't return the response directly. Redirect the user to a get request method which is going to display success message. Even if you refresh with that, again get request will be submitted which is going to reload the same page, but form is not getting submitted here. Now let me implement that. Right. So first, this is the method which is used to load the user creation form, account creation form. This is the method which is used to handle the form submission. Right. Now, once the form is submitted, I want to redirect the request to another controller method. Public string user account creation success. Right. Let me bind this method to @ request mapping value is equal to user account creation success, that is URL pattern, method is equal to request method dot get. Right. Now here what I am going to do, return the view name from this method, from get method, not from the post method. Then what this post method has to do, once this form is submitted, it has to return a control to this method. It has to redirect the control to this method. Then how to redirect it? In the Spring, to redirect from one request method to another request method, we will use redirect : to which action we want to redirect. Right. So this is my action name where I want to redirect it. So then what it is going to display? It is going to return the logical view name. Fine. This method is used to display success message post registration. Right. So earlier we have only 2 methods. Now I created a new method. Once the post request is submitted, here logic will be executed, storing the success message in the model scope and which is redirecting to another method. This method is responsible to display view. Right. Now, so let us go for our working example. Now as I change it that code, let me restart my server. Right. Run as boot application. First load this form. Form is loaded. Now enter the details, phone number. Right. Click on submit. Now what is happening? Whiteable error page, user account creation success. Right. Let us see why it is not redirecting properly. Neither binding result are available as a request attribute. So got it? Because we are able to submit the request to this which is trying to redirect to this method. which is returning a view, but our view is having expecting a model attribute that is not available in this method. That is the reason it is failing. So then what we need to do here? Here also, whenever this form is reloading, we can need to set this model attribute, right? So this is a form binding object. Or else, sir, then why are you creating this new method? Why can't you redirect it to this method only? Yes, that is also we can do. That's not a problem. Either you can create a separate method. If you want to redirect to the different page, then you can create a separate method. If you want to redirect to the same page, then you can redirect to this method also. Anything that depends on your requirement, right? Sir, every time it is asking me to restart the server, let me add DevTools dependency here so that it will reload the resources. Form.xml, Spring Boot starter, DevTools. Right. Now go to controller. Let me add a logger here also. Logger.info, user account creation success, method called. Just to understand when this method is getting called, whether this method is getting called or not, we can understand by using our logger now. 1 second. Problems. Clean this project. Is the DevTools dependency correct there? Let me check in the main repository. Spring Boot DevTools. org.springframework.boot Spring Boot DevTools. Yes, this is correct. I need to specify the version. Yes, let's rerun our application. Run as boot app. Already running. Stop the service. Run as boot app. Yes, application started with the 6061. Localhost colon 6061 / my app. Now form is loaded. Then fill the details, email ID, phone number. Click on submit. Right? So form is submitted. Now see here, user account creation URL. URL change it to user account creation success. Now you see here, form is submitted, user account creation success method is called. That means when I am sending the request from the form, post request is sent and it is calling this method. This method is storing the data to the model attribute and which is returning to this method. This logger is printed. This is called PRG, post request redirecting to get request method. So this is what we discussed in the diagram. Submitting a request to the post, perform the logic, redirect the user to the get request, which is displaying a success message to the user. Even if you refresh the form, then get request is going to call. Let us try to refresh the form. Form is refreshed. Which method is calling? Is the post request is submitting or redirect that get request method is getting called? Our get request method only getting called. Let us refresh once again. Again also creation success, that method is getting called. So we are able to achieve that PRG, post, redirect and get. Form submitted through post request, performed the operation, redirect it to get request, which is returning the form again, and user, if you refresh the page, get request is submitting to the server but not the post request. But if you observe here, earlier we are able to get the success message once the form is submitted, but now we are not getting that success message. What is the reason? So let us see the diagram. So earlier, when I submit a post request, it is going to the controller. In the controller, we are adding model, using model.add attribute to store the data in the form of key and value. Then controller is directly returning the view name. In that view, we can access that model key to print the message in the view. But here what is happening? Request is going to the controller method that is having the logic to store the message in the model scope, but it is redirecting to the another request method. So whatever the data is stored in the request method 1 model scope, which is not available to the request method 2. So that is the reason we are unable to get that message in the view. Then how to transfer the data from one request method to another request method in the Spring MVC? That's where redirect attribute comes into picture. If you want to transfer data from this request method 1 to this request method 2, we should not use the model scope. We should use redirect attributes concept to store the data in the form of key and value. So I hope you understood the difference here. If you want to transfer the data from controller method to the view directly, then you can store by using model.add attribute. If you want to send the data from one request method to another request method in the redirect scenario, then model scope is not sufficient. Therefore, that we need to go for redirect attributes concept. Let us see how can we implement that. So instead of storing in the model scope, I am going to store it in redirect attributes. Redirect attributes, I am writing as a attributes, right? This one we are going to change it to attributes dot add flash attribute. The method name is a flash attribute where we will store the data in the form of key and value pair, right? Now we can comment this line. This is not required now. So earlier we are using model scope to send the data from the controller method to view, but this time we are redirecting from one method to another method. So at the time of redirection, if you want to transfer the data from this method to this method, we need to store that in the redirect attributes. Now see the beauty of the dev tools. When I change the code, automatically server is restarted. I no need to stop and start it again, right? So I hope you understood this method, which is binded to post request, which is handling the form submission logic. After that, which is redirecting to the another method which is binded to guest, that is PRG, post request method redirecting to get request method. Now in this post method, we are adding the data to the redirect attributes using flash attribute method, which is used to send the data from one request method to the another request method, right? So let us load the form again. Username, email ID, phone number. Let me clear my console to understand how methods are getting executed. Because we have added loggers here, we can see the loggers. Click on submit. Now you can see account created successfully, but see the URL creation success. This is a URL pattern which is binded to get request method. So post method is redirected the request to get request method. See the console, form submitted. This is the logger from post request method. Then it is redirected to the get request method, which is printing that logger also, right? Now if you click on refresh, what is happening? Is the post request is submitting again? No, just it is calling a get request method. So with this we are able to resolve our double posting problem by using post redirect get pattern. So if you look at the code, I am writing one method to load the form which is binded to get request. I am writing one more method which is binded to post request, which is used to handle the form submission. Once the form submission completed successfully, I am redirecting the request to the another method which is displaying a success message to the user. Here you can return a same form or you can return another view also, right? So one new concept here, redirect attributes. So this is used to transfer the data from one request method to another request method. All right. So this is the diagram. This is how our code is executing now. Earlier it was executing with a double posting scenario. Now we are able to resolve that. So let's recall quickly here. Form is submitted with the post request, performed the operation, which is redirected to the get request method, which is sending a confirmation page. Even if you refresh the page, get request will be submitted. So it doesn't make any problem because it is a idempotent method. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can connect with me in my Facebook group, that is Ashok IT School. You can send me a personal mail using my email ID ashokitschool@gmail.com. Please subscribe to this channel for upcoming videos. Thank you.